Please come.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Have the seat. You have studied in Jamia Millia in Delhi, huh? And schooling has also been done here or in Jammu and Kashmir? Kashmir, Kupwara. Kupwara has been in the news quite some time. Is it a very volatile place?
So it's in the towards the northwest of Jammu and Kashmir. It's a border district actually. It used to be very volatile in the 90s, but now it's very calm for some time. It's actually a very infiltration-prone region of Jammu and Kashmir.
What do you think the infiltration can be stopped completely? Because Pakistan is trying to send as much as possible from any place, anywhere on the border. If there is any slackness, they would like to push.
I think it depends on the kind of infrastructure and that is there. So the government has recently started certain new projects like the CIBMS and other things. So it depends on that. As regards the border areas, the areas are really vulnerable because the areas receive very heavy snowfall in the winters. It can go up to even 10 feet. So it's very difficult to patrol such areas. The fencings have to be repaired very often, so it becomes difficult.
Do you think is it necessary that India should talk to Pakistan on these things?
So I think the current strategy that India has adopted of naming and shaming Pakistan at international forum, I think it has put a lot of pressure on Pakistan.
Talk and terror cannot go together. That is what India has been following. So do you agree with this, or we have to initiate discussing the matter with Pakistan?
So I think the current strategy is to an extent we are able to convince Pakistan, and they have started taking action on terror groups.
Okay.
So
you passed BA Honors Economics in 17. After that,
I started preparing for civil service.
You not taken up any job in the no studies either?
So I didn't have plans to go for masters. I had thought it earlier that I want to go for civil service.
We have been seeing for a year, for more than a year, economic slowdown in our economy. What do we mean by it, economic slowdown?
So basically, in case of economic slowdown, there are few parameters that we look at, like GDP growth. The GDP growth has been slowing down. We are not being able to create a lot of employment in the economy, and also there is a lack of demand in the economy.
What is the estimate of GDP growth this year for 1920?
So it's around 5%.
Around 5%. And what has been the average over the, say, previous 7-8 years?
The average has been around
7 to 8. 7 to 8%. Government has taken some measures in the recent months to resolve this problem, to give a stimulus on the fiscal side, on the monetary side. So can you 4 or 5 measures, big measures which government has taken or the RBI has taken?
So firstly, if we talk about RBI has been reducing the repo rate and has been pushing the banks to reduce the lending rates also. Recently, they have also given incentive to the banks that if they give extra credit to MSME and other sectors, they will be discounted in case of CRR requirements, which is 4%. So for the government has begun to give some fiscal stimulus, like recently they announced a national infrastructure pipeline under which 103 lakh crores will be invested in around 6,500 projects across the country. I think that will be a big push. And in the budget, the government has announced some new projects also, like LIC will be 10% stake in LIC, around 10% will be disinvested. Some other things also.
What is the motivation for you to join civil services? I mean, you could as well have gone for teaching, for jobs which are generally meant for ladies.
So I don't believe in this, that certain jobs are reserved for ladies and some things. I always wanted to join the service. So I have full faith in my potential. I believe I can do really well if I join the civil service.
So what can be done to, there's some, often we hear criticism of civil services, bureaucracy, that they move very slow, there's red tapeism, a lot of secrecy in what they are doing. So what can be done to improve the image?
So the bureaucratic structure is such that there is bound to be some amount of red tapeism and some amount of the kind of procedures. You have to do a lot of paperwork. But it's also true that we can infuse some amount of reforms, like going for digitization, e-governance, strengthening the RTI, improving transparency, rewarding the honest and efficient bureaucrats, and also, as the government is doing, compulsorily retiring the inefficient ones and the corrupt ones. I think these are some of the reforms that can be done.
Well, Nadia Beg, my honorable member had asked me a very fine question, nice question rather, that being a woman, why you are interested in civil services? You could have selected teaching and other things. I mean, there are noble professions, doctors also. There is one thing in Quran Sharif, وَتُعِزُّ مَن تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَن تَشَاءُ. Do you agree to that? Naturally, I mean, it's a prophet saying, so you have to agree to that. So, on one side, your ambition to become a civil servant. You know the meaning of وَتُعِزُّ مَن تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَن تَشَاءُ. What is the meaning of that?
It's up to Allah to whoever He wants to reward with.
Up to any heights or up to any? Very good, nice, fine. So I was asking you, I just forgot what I was asking anyway. Well, Nadia, that is, I mean, similar to your name, I mean, very, very similar, yes. There is what Natia. 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 I'll give you a tip. Natia Qawwalis.
Oh, Natia Qawwalis. Yes, I know.
What do you understand by Natia Qawwalis?
So it's songs or music in the praise of Prophet Muhammad. Naat.
Prophet Muhammad? No, not Prophet Muhammad, but God, Almighty God.
So that's hamd. That's hamd.
In the praise of Prophet Muhammad, Natia Qawwalis are made.
Naat is praise of Prophet Muhammad. Hamd is God.
Well, tell me the fundamental unity of Islam and Hinduism. Unity. Where does it lie, the fundamental unity between the two religions?
So I think Sufism.
Pardon?
Sufism.
Sufism.
It's like bringing together of both the faiths.
Sufism is a product of a very later India, 16th to 17th century or like that. I am asking about the fundamental unity between the two religions.
So both the faiths preach peace and tolerance and
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Take us from that path on which you have grazed people. Asato ma sadagamay tamso ma jyotirgamay mrityurma amritam gamay. उस रास्ते से हमें मत ले चल जिस पर तेरा कहर बरपा हुआ. Not that. There is a fundamentality lies between the two religions. And still, तो आप अपनी खुदी से ये दिल हिजाब में है, हिजाब में है. चलिए. Now, who is supposed to be the best monarch of Jammu and Kashmir till date? Zainul Abidin. Okay, nice. And regarding your sociology, my last question. Social relationship creates a sterile complacency. A complacency that is sterile. Do you agree to that? I am repeating it. Social relationship creates a sterile complacency. Complacency, you understand? Then what is there in it that you couldn't understand the meaning of this jumla?
So I'm not able to understand this sterile complex.
Achha, what is your most favorite subject in which we can talk a bit? Urdu Shairi?
I'm not. I know few of the shairs.
Which shair do you know?
Iqbal.
Iqbal.
Yes, sir. Allama Iqbal.
And?
And
I think you have mentioned right now the Sufism. Recently, we are having a female voice from Pakistan. She is singing Sufi ites extremely well. Can you name?
so I know Hadika Kiani and
Abida Parveen.
Abida Parveen. Yes, Hadika Kiani also
One
sings.
is more popular.
Abida Parveen, na? Well, because time is short, otherwise I could have discussed a number of things.
You have done your honors in economics, no? But you have not taken economics as any particular reason, or sociology is more paying?
Not that. So actually, I was not comfortable with microeconomics. So, and also during my
sociology you have never studied, so I think
as
there would
a
have
subsidiary subject in my college, I read sociology. So I
you
found it
have
more
read.
interesting.
What is this identity politics?
So identity politics is basically a kind of politics that uses identities based on your religion, caste, ethnicity, or any such identity.
Can a person have more than one identity?
Yes, sir. We all have more than one identity.
For example, how many identities do you carry?
So
You are a woman,
Yes,
that
sir.
is one, and you are a
women,
Muslim.
as a woman, a Muslim,
As a
Kashmiri, an Indian,
as Indian.
Minority. It's
You
also
said,
an identity.
Muslim, so that
Yes, sir,
covers
that's
minority.
also.
So, is there any conflict between these minorities, these identities?
I don't think so. There is a conflict. Most of the times, these identities they overlap with each other.
You don't feel there is any conflict between these identities?
No, sir. I don't think so.
Much talked about Article 370. I'll make three statements and you tell me which one is correct. Article 370 has been recently abolished, abrogated, diluted.
So it has been deoperationalized. It has not been
Which is closer
diluted.
to the third one, deoperationalized or diluted.
Diluted.
Yeah. So the
By
first
the
two are
whole
not.
Article 370 or some portions of Article 370? Think of it, because not the whole 370. है ना? Go and read again.
Yeah, but Article 370 as a whole has neither been abolished nor abrogated. It has-
Certain portions have
so
been
it means even if a
deactivated.
certain portion has been changed, so it has been deoperationalized or diluted.
It has been deoperationalized and it,
But
it
many
has
people
been
still commit the mistake of referring to abrogation or
not
abolition.
abrogation. Not
That
Abrogation.
you should be very careful,
Ji.
because
Yes,
she is a
sir.
Kashmiri. So
Ji. Now, my second and final question. Currently, a case is before the Supreme Court, and the question they are examining is whether women in the Indian Army can be posted in command posts. And one of the reasons given by the Government of India in that case, opposing this proposal, is that because men in the army would not like to work under a woman commander, so this plea should not be accepted. What do you think about this argument of the government of India?
So I think the government of India should, rather than arguing on the part of soldiers, they should make it clear what they want. I think women are ready to work in the command posts. I think this argument is in a way patriarchal. When we give women opportunity to serve in the army, in the command posts, I think they will create space for themselves. They
I
will prove
completely agree.
themselves.
You should carefully choose your words, but
I should have good arguments.
avoid the words patriarchal, and because you are criticizing government. You have every right to criticize government, but very politely, extra politely. That's all from me.